Today we're going to be making these little cinnamon cookies, little Greek cinnamon cookies. And what you're going to need is baking soda, baking powder, brown sugar if you prefer, olive oil, orange juice, a orange, sugar, flour, and ground cinnamon and ground cloves. What I'm going to do first is, well, you're going to want to make the orange into orange zest. So just like peel it, basically. It's weird. I don't know. In the middle of zesting, you may be approached by a wild assistant.
So we're actually recording.
Yeah. So she's here now.
I'm zesting.
Yeah, we're zesting.
We're zesting.
We're zesting. Okay, so apparently don't use a potato peeler because that doesn't make zest. Use a bread knife or cheese grater. If you want to be more safe, use a cheese grater. Don't be like the harshest.
What are we doing next, chef?
Not this. This isn't what we're doing. In ancient Greece, fruit was considered a dessert, so they mostly had grapes and apples and such put into the desserts because it was, well, they were sweet, and most of their meals mostly consisted of fish and meat and other dried vegetables. Actually, every meal that they had, they paired it with wine. Red wine, white wine, or rose wine, if you want to be fancy. That was like their staple. For breakfast, they would have like bread with wine, bread dipped in wine. For lunch, they would have fish, vegetables, and wine. And then for dinner, it would be another kind of meat and wine. It was just always wine. So after you've zested your orange, it should look kind of like this. Not like peeled. You should sift about 1 kilogram or 8 cups of flour into a bowl, just to make sure everything is nice and soft and fluffy for the cookies. Just before you've sifted all of the flour, you're going to want to add in 1 tablespoon, yes, 1 tablespoon of baking powder into it so that it can mix with it, basically. Okay, so in the beginning, you're going to want to add 1/3 cup of sugar and how much olive oil? You're going to want to have 1 4/3 cups of olive oil. After those have been added in a large bowl, whisk just to mix it. Then you're going to want to add 1/3 cup of orange juice and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda into a cup, and then mix until the baking soda is fully dissolved. After it is fully dissolved, you're going to want to add it into the large bowl with the sugar and the olive oil. 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, and the orange zest all into one bowl, and then mix until all is mixed accordingly. After properly whisked, you're going to want to add in half of the mixture of the baking soda and flour, and then after that's properly whisked, you're going to want to knead in the rest into the dough very gradually. You know, it's quite interesting that they ate 3 meals like us, except some of them never ate like certain types of foods. Like some of them would go their entire life without knowing what a tomato tastes like. That's crazy. And they would bake for breakfast like any normal person. They would break from work to eat lunch, and then they would come home for dinner and have a little dessert maybe. It's cool. Before kneading any dough, make sure that your hands are properly washed because you don't want any germs in your food because that's gross. Of course, you're using your hands because how else are you going to knead dough? Okay, so a few technical difficulties aside, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to take all of your dough, it's kind of mushy, kind of gross, and put it on a well-floured cutting board usually. You gotta put the flour down to make sure that it doesn't stick. Just because sticky flour, sticky cutting boards are never a good thing to have. Okay, so after that's all mixed, you're gonna want to preheat your oven to 340 degrees, just so that it can warm up in time to make the cookies. Okay, so after that's preheated, you're gonna want to grab 2 kind of large baking trays, spray them down or grease them down so that the cookies don't stick, and basically mold your cookies in whatever shape you want them to be. After you arranged the little cookies in whatever shape you'd like, you can put a brown sugar little topping on top of it to make it a little bit more sweet because it's kind of tangy. It's kind of good. I like it. After you've put the brown sugar on top, pop them in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes or until golden brown. And then you have your cinnamon cookies.